What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com, and welcome to BTB's continued coverage of the 2020 NFL Draft. As you know, the Dallas Cowboys were very busy through the first three rounds of the draft, taking Oklahoma wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, Alabama cornerback Trayvon Diggs, and Oklahoma defensive tackle Neville Gallimore. But the third day of the draft is where so many championships, frankly, are won. These are deep rounds, but finding talent here is a skill. It's a trait that many front offices covet, and it's something that the Dallas Cowboys have needed to do to a great degree for a long time now. We've seen the Cowboys land some undrafted free agents that are nice. We've seen them land a couple of sixth-round picks in recent memory that have done well. Names like Xavier Woods certainly come to mind, but you have to hit on these picks because you have to have depth. The Cowboys roster is currently in a place where they have to find some bodies and some people to contribute to a significant degree, and so there is hope that the Cowboys are able to do that here in the later rounds of the 2020 NFL Draft. But the fourth round started with the Cowboys only having one pick in it. But things would shape up pretty interestingly. And the Cowboys, with the 123rd overall selection, took Tulsa cornerback Reggie Robinson. It was the first position that the Cowboys double-dipped here in 2020, and for good reason. We know that Byron Jones went to the Miami Dolphins in free agency. That's why the Diggs pick made sense in the second round. Getting Robinson in the fourth round at 123rd overall was another example of the Dallas Cowboys getting a player that many people had rated much higher. Lots of consensus boards had Reggie Robinson graded as better than the 123rd overall pick. He's a tall, athletic cornerback, very aggressive. A lot of people concerned about PI calls and whatnot, but he's somebody that frankly has a tenacity that the Cowboys have been missing when it comes to cornerbacks. We know that the Cowboys have not been able to intercept the ball. We know that the Cowboys have not been able to generate turnovers. That is something that is obviously that's something that you prioritize on defense and in your secondary, and the Cowboys are seemingly doing that. The Cowboys, we know, re-signed Anthony Brown in free agency, brought in Maurice Kennedy, and signed Savion Smith. That gives them those players, along with Chidobe Awuzie, Jordan Lewis, Trayvon Diggs, and now Reggie Robinson as their cornerback group for 2020. Is it better than what they had in 2019? No, of course not. But this is promising. The Cowboys are in a position where both Chidobe Awuzie and Jordan Lewis are in contract years entering 2020. Now they have options entering 2021 in Trayvon Diggs and Reggie Robinson. But if you thought that would be the only pick the Cowboys made in the fourth round, think again, because the Cowboys entered this draft having two picks in the fifth round, and they decided to get a little bit frisky. The Cowboys called the Philadelphia Eagles, that's right, the Philadelphia Eagles, and made a trade. It's actually not that uncommon for the Cowboys to trade with division rivals. If you think about it, in 2014, they jumped up in the second round with the Washington Redskins when they ultimately took DeMarcus Lawrence, and the Cowboys have actually traded with the Eagles before. Back in 2010, the Cowboys traded and landed Sean Lee as a result, so I think it worked out pretty well. But either way, the Cowboys traded with the Philadelphia Eagles to get back into the fourth round. They surrendered their first fifth-round pick in 2020, plus a fifth-round pick next offseason. Now, if you're worried about the picks and whatnot, the Cowboys did have plenty of free agents who left the team this offseason. You think about Byron Jones, Robert Quinn, Randall Cobb, etc. The Cowboys are likely forecasting themselves having plenty of compensatory picks next offseason. They'll probably at the very least have a fifth-round compensatory pick, which is why they can afford to deal one in the here and now. It's actually very smart team building and roster structuring by the Cowboys, so kudos to them. But the Cowboys jumped up to pick 146 overall, and as we all know, the Cowboys lost Travis Frederick to retirement this offseason, the center from Wisconsin, one of the best draft picks that Jerry Jones has made in his tenure as the team's owner, president, and general manager. So you have to imagine that they figured going back to the same well made sense. The Dallas Cowboys took center Tyler Biadasz from Wisconsin, the nation's best center. And I mean, if you can land a player of that quality in the fourth round with the 146th overall pick after trading with your division rival for what was effectively a fifth-round pick next offseason, this is good business. This is really smart from the Cowboys. And, you know, it does certainly raise questions, but in a very good way, about what the Cowboys are going to do at center this season. It's possible that Tyler Biadasz is not going to be the team's starting center because they have a lot of options. They re-signed Joe Looney. They re-signed Adam Redmond. They have last year's third-round pick, Connor McGovern. They have Connor Williams, who was an option, at least to play around with putting at center. But now you have Tyler Biadasz, a true center, somebody who, again, blocked for a fantastic running back in Jonathan Taylor, the newest member of the Indianapolis Colts. So this is this is promising, honestly. I mean, you look at all 4 of the picks the Cowboys made through the first 4 rounds, and they're all players that were graded significantly higher than where the Cowboys ultimately took them. We saw the Cowboys exhibit some serious discipline in the first 3 rounds and their first pick in the 4th round, waiting, trusting their board and trusting talent to be there when they ultimately came on the clock. And then we saw the Cowboys strike when the iron was hot. We saw the Cowboys say, look, Tyler Biadasz is a fantastic player. We have a bit of a need at center. Let's go get him. It's going to cost us what is basically a 5th round pick next year, and we're going to have another one anyways. Let's just do it. Let's get wild. Let's get crazy. So kudos to them. The Dallas Cowboys do have a 5th round selection and a 7th round pick remaining in the 2020 NFL Draft, so we'll continue to bring you coverage on those here on the official Blogging the Boys YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Make sure you check out bloggingtheboys.com. Follow us on Twitter at bloggingtheboys, on Instagram at blogging.the.boys, and make sure to follow me on both those platforms at RJ Ochoa on both. We'll see you after the 5th round. The good times are here, my friends.